pouvoir reprendre à ce niveau-là. On était donc ici. Oh. Ah, ça va être mieux. Ok. Donc on était ici. Alors, on va voir. Vous tentez de me trucider. Tu m'étonnes.
Oh boy. Huh? Well, I'm stumped.
Ouais. Ah ouais, c'est sûr que...
Enough with the searching glances, Dimitri. Say what you're going to say.
I was just thinking that I find it difficult to speak with you. Even now that we have the opportunity to exchange words peaceably. Too many have died for us to suddenly have meaningful heart-to-heart conversation.
Oh? That's not how I feel. Unless you mean you don't wish to speak with the tyrant you consider responsible for their deaths. In which case, let's just believe what we believe, accept that our paths have diverged, and see this through to the very end.
You're placing words in my mouth. Still, I suppose that does cut to the heart of the matter. I will not claim that all my choices were right, but I accept responsibility for them. I made them carefully and with full knowledge of the consequences.
And I'd like to think I can say the same. But this is unproductive. We need to get out of here.
Fair enough. But first, answer me this. Do you know what became of your mother and Selma?
Why would I?
Someone told me that you would know how she met her end. Although I suspect that was nothing more than the dying ravings of a madwoman.
It was. I haven't seen my mother since I was a child. It would have been right before she was exiled. You would know what happened better than I.
I suppose so. Regardless, thank you for answering. Now, shall we get back to finding our way out?
Please, we can't resolve anything so long as we're trapped in this...
That was quite the tremor.
Whatever this place is, I find myself liking it less by the moment.
Can you stand?
Yes, thank...
Perhaps we can put our differences aside, if only for the moment. Hostilities will do us no good here.
C'est quand même marrant que Dimitri soit plus chill, plus cool ici, alors que dans Strérosis, c'était... Ah, t'es pas loin de la barbarie, hein.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I can agree. You know, I just remembered something from back when I was but a child. I had fallen to the ground and was met with a kind hand reaching out to help me up. I took it without thinking, without even looking first to see who it was. Dimitri, what is it?
I have a similar memory. One of helping a little girl who had fallen in the dirt.
Knowing you, such occurrences would have been commonplace in your youth. Don't try to imply we share a memory.
Alors qu'en vrai, si.
No, I rarely forget an important face. Often to my own woe, I might add.
Enough. Let us end this before we both make greater fools of ourselves. We need to escape. That's our only priority.
Edelgard,
What are you doing? You should know I won't hesitate to leave you behind.
Indeed. I'm coming, Elle. Huh?
Azara, vous pouvez interroger avec de mystérieuses distorsions pour vous servir de toutes les fonctions des bâtiments.
I wonder. I have to say, this isn't how I imagined Fodlan's 3 most powerful leaders would be coming together.
Indeed. I hesitate to even consider the look on Hubert's face right now.
I don't think anyone's too worried about me, though. Vanishing without a word is kind of what I do. So much for being a reliable leader.
Or perhaps it's the opposite, and your people think you reliable precisely because you always return. It must be nice having friends you can depend on to handle important matters in your absence.
And it must feel lousy to realize no one wants to do your job, Edelgard.
I'm glad to see your tongue remains as agile as ever. Let's try moving our feet instead, shall we?
Hey, I can do both if you want. It's definitely not an either-or kind of situation. So, Edelgard, say the 4 of us get out of here in one piece. What are you planning to do about Dimitri? Maybe we should join forces and take him on together.
You're such a bore sometimes, Claude. And is that a serious proposal?
Well, I suppose it would be easier for me if the kingdom stuck around. After all, I get the feeling that if we divide Fodlan between the Empire and the Alliance, I'll be the one holding the short end of that stick. Our goal is to deal with Rhea and the Central Church, not to unify Fodlan.
You never have been one to mince words, have you? Well then, allow me to match your honesty. It would be more convenient for me if the kingdom ceased to exist. The Central Church has a much closer relationship with Fargus than with the other regions. Even were we to capture the Archbishop and force her to dismantle the upper echelons of the Church, it wouldn't be enough. The roots of that organization run deep.
Hold on. You're just looking to capture Rhea? You're not gonna, get rid of her?
Is it not enough to subdue a foe and remove them from power?
I'm just surprised. I would have expected you to be more thorough.
And here I thought you wanted to pursue a peaceful solution.
Hey, give me some credit. If I didn't like to rock the boat, Lester would have been swallowed up by the Empire ages ago. I have ambitions, Edelgard. Real ones. I won't go into details, but I'm definitely fighting to make...
All that, and you're not planning to enlighten me? Unreliable and stingy. I, for one, have no qualms with telling you my ambitions.
Just Fodlan, huh?
Come again?
Hey, don't get me wrong. That's a goal I can get behind. That's why we're working together. But I'd be grateful if my own ambitions can be fulfilled at the end of your path of conquest.
I'd like to believe that is possible. At least for now, we can work together to achieve a common goal. And perhaps someday our pact will become a more permanent one. I hope so, at any rate.
Same here. But before that, we need to find a way out of this place.
Vamos ça. Ok. Bon, jusqu'à là c'est bon. Puis ben on va y aller hein. Aller plus loin, oui.
Yeesh. You can't tell forward from back in here. Let's try over that way, maybe?
Good idea. It seems different from the rest of the void. Look out!
So it failed. Has my skill degraded that sharply over the years?
Arval.
I have been searching for you. And look what you brought me. The three who fancy themselves sovereigns, ruling over that abomination's wretched spawn. What unexpected luck. I do hope you are all prepared to face death this day.
So this is Arval, is it? Undo this sorcery and return us from whence we came, demon.
Oh, I do not think that will be happening. But even if I desired to accede to your wishes, the great forbidden spell of Zaharas is a one-way journey. None can escape this eternal darkness.
I vote we kill this thing and see what happens. Who's with me?
Something tells me they wouldn't lay this trap, only to suffer the same fate as us. If this being can free themselves from this void, it stands to reason that so too can we.
Then try cutting me down if you like. Sadly, what you see before you is but an illusion. I have a task to fulfill, and once it is accomplished, I shall leave this place alone.
Arval, wait! What task are you talking about? Why did you use me? And what are you trying to do here?
Ah, but you are mistaken. I am not Arval. My name is Epimenides, an ordinary man who vowed to kill the beast which set the earth ablaze. Do you not comprehend my purpose? I must save this world and its true people. That is why I chose to pass my consciousness down through the ages. And you are the vessel for that consciousness.
What does that mean?
Ok. Ok. Ouais, ça fait.
I don't know what's going on, but I do know whoever that is needs to be stopped.
And how far are you willing to go? Will you cut down your own friends to reach me?
Mhm.
Not a problem. Move out. Not a problem. I've got this.
Here I go. They must learn who they're up against.
We will proceed as but we must strive to perform to the best of our ability.
Let's try this. Let's see. Hilda? How did she... No, that can't be her. Is it an illusion?
If so, it's completely indistinguishable from the real thing. This is vile sorcery indeed. Never join forces with the King of Fires.
Voilà.
Why are you... No. This is a deception. The man I know would never raise a weapon at me.
The Emperor is before you. Deal the killing blow. You can't fool me. If it were really you, you'd understand.
God, no! Don't do this! I can't believe you would hurt me.
This is harder than I thought. I mean, how do we know for sure they're not real?
Caméra. Ok.
You would drench your hands in the blood of friends to get what you want. I should have expected no less from the children of beasts.
Hop là.
I've got it.
Their screams are so real.
This moment.
Hop là.
Watch this.
Take a breather.
We changing places?
I've awaited this moment.
I'll take over.
It's nothing.
Il va mourir là. Voilà.
There. It's done.
Bon, c'est quoi la suite?
Kill yourself. Don't know who will be up next.
Are we being warped away? No. Space itself is distorting around us.
Our surroundings have changed.
This place is so twisted you can't even tell where you are.
Aren't you sad for your comrades, murderers? There it is. There is your rage.
Ah.
Here I
Alors
go.
toi t'es bien là.
They must learn who they're up against.
Let's try this. Let's see how this goes.
Not a problem. I've got this.
We will proceed.
I can spot one fake, but how do I tell which Edelgard and Dimitri are on my side?
Perhaps each of them should take on their own double to prevent confusion.
That's not a bad idea.
This darkness is a mirror for the soul. And once a soul is imprisoned here, it is eternally severed from the real world.
Just imagine how much easier our task will be with the two of us. A nice thought, yes. But I'm sad to say I failed to trust even myself.
Why are you helping the Emperor, wretch? You mourn your friends. Avenge them. It's a blessing I get to face you. There is truly no one I more desire to end.
Stop playing the kind soul. Everything we've ever wanted is before us, right for the taking. If you really need, then you already know why I'm doing this. I don't like leaving my fate up to luck.
Allez, va tomber là. Hop.
Not a problem. I've got this.
We will proceed as planned. We must... Illusion or no, I must thank our adversary for letting me experience that.
Sorry.
Voilà.
Let's try
Très bien.
this.
Let's see how this goes.
Not a problem. I've got this.
I feel like I just slew my twin brother.
Nice try.
Ok. Ah mais fais esquiver tout. Hop là. Et c'est fait.
I can't say it's pleasant watching my own death.
That's the last of the illusions.
So it would seem.
At least now we're certain they're not real. We can cut them down without mercy.
Again? Please tell me we're gonna find that guy this time.
Ok.
Right. Let's get searching.
Oh, but you four are a marvel. To think you are already adapting to this place.
They must.
Ça sent une douille hein, quand même.
Now have the
Ok.
grace to lay down your lives and
On va
let
voir
the
ce que ça donne, hein.
world you've torn apart heal. Ah, there you are, my partner in destiny.
Hop. J'ai du mal à croire que ça se finissera maintenant.
You're not our fault. Even if you were, I'd fight you all the same.
Destroying me will achieve nothing, for you will all still be trapped in this place.
You're done!
Not yet. Unfortunate, but you are forcing my hand.
Une barrière de Zaras. Forme de fantôme.
So even our
Très bien.
mercenary friend gets affected. This is going to take all of us. Time to put our differences aside.
Why does it have to be you? I don't want to fight through!
Ah, il y en a un deuxième. Ah, il y en a même plusieurs.
Here I go. No mistakes.
Not a problem. I've got this. Nice shot.
Hop, hop, hop.
We will proceed
Parfait.
as planned. We must.
I'll take over.
My turn?
Hop, fin.
No problem. I get
It seems I'm forced to do this myself. So be it. Come at me if you dare.
Our adversary has finally run out of
Ok, très bien.
time to finish this. You won't stop me.
Watch this.
Où toi?
You've already lost.
Parfait.
I will end you.
Nothing I do is enough. How much more must I sacrifice?
Et ben voilà. Et comme prévu, c'est pas la dernière. On a encore une autre bataille.
Over. Be gone with you. The cycle of this world must be protected. You fool! Why must you resist me so?
You know my reason. The tomorrow we're fighting for? The choice is ours to make!
It's incredible. Just how strong you've become.
Arval.
You have grown more than I ever thought possible. And yet... I've never felt more alone.
Ok. Ok, il est marrant. Étonnant.
I'm getting...
Ok. Étonnant, je pensais pas qu'il allait mourir tout de suite.
Looks like we made it out in one piece.
Are you sure about that? I still have no idea what's going on.
Arval, or Epimenides, I suppose, has vanished, and we've been returned to where we started. Perhaps we should just consider this a victory, an ironic one, as we achieved it by working together.
Fair enough. So, what happens now?
It would be foolish of me to permit either of you to leave this place alive. Yet without you, I'd still be in that prison. I'm not the type to dispose of someone the moment they stop being useful.
That's not my style either. Momentary truce, then?
Agreed. Let's consider all debts paid.
But just to be clear, I crushed you once, and I can do so again.
Sorry about that, Edelgard. I put you in a pretty bad spot back there.
In truth, I can't say I much expected any of this.
Still, it got us talking again, and that's gotta be worth something.
Well, I should be off. I hope we can do this again sometime. The speaking part, anyway.
Think I'll be on my way too. My people are probably pulling their hair out by now.
Until we meet again. Come, we're leaving. If my suspicions are correct, Garreg Mach is in grave danger. We need to hurry.
Nouveau
Scarlet
chapitre.
Blaze, a path forward. The Empire somehow manages to prevail over the Kingdom and Central Church's coalition, but Archbishop Rhea is nowhere to be found. Edelgard and the others soon realize the Archbishop aims to use Aelel's secret trails to lead a surprise attack on Garreg Mach, so the Empire regroups and moves to intervene.
Dire news, my lord.
Huh? What now? What's happened? Another fire? Has a horse escaped? Don't tell me it's an assassin! Where's the body?
No, my lord. Worse. There's a legion of soldiers closing in on Garreg Mach. We think it's the Knights of Seros.
But we're safe in here, yes? My life is of great military importance, you know. Protect me! Put those troops Her Majesty sent to use!
Count Varley, the enemy is inside the monastery. We couldn't hold them back.
But these walls are thick! How did they breach them?
The walls yet stand, my lord. But it appears they have made use of a number of unknown secret passages. Now they are inside and wreaking havoc, and it's only a matter of time before the monastery falls. We have the numbers to stop them, but that matters little if we don't know where they actually are.
We must flee, my lord.
All hope is lost.
Urgent news, my lord.
Spare my life, I beg you.
An unknown army has appeared and started attacking the Knights of Seros.
Her Majesty's reinforcements.
Doubtful, my lord. This army wields large-scale magic and is also attacking the Imperial forces. The battlefield is sheer chaos. It's impossible to tell friend from foe.
What in the blazes is happening?
Ok. Ça sent le bordel.
Church or empire, I care not. Eradicate
Ah oui, c'est vrai que lui il est toujours là.
engulf them in our darkness.
It will be done. At last we can finally give the foolish descendants of those beasts the lesson they deserve. We will expose their filthy underground resting place and steal every last one of their essences.
If we can breach it. The hole in the forest that the bandits raided was secured with a seal.
Shall we deal with it after we take the monastery? We'll tear this disgusting rat's nest apart.
Lady Rhea, who are these people? They're attacking both sides indiscriminately.
A clandestine organization that wields dark magic. Could it be? Have they returned to seek vengeance on Fodlan? But why show their hand now? Deal with them, Catherine. Not a single one of them can survive. They pose a far greater threat to our world than the Empire.
Yes, Lady Rhea. Make way for Thunder Catherine! Clear a path or die!
Ok.
And that appears to be the current situation.
The Knights of Seros are one thing. We came prepared to deal with them, and we can do so. But now you say those who slither in the dark have turned this into a...
I am as baffled as you regarding a possible motive.
Perhaps it was vital they seized the monastery before we could get here. If they knew we were engaged in a lengthy fight at ALL, they might have seen this as their chance.
Well, they saved Count Varley's life either way. So be it. We will use this situation to our advantage and conduct a rescue. We can't afford to lose Garreg Mach or Count Varley. With one battle, we'll destroy the Central Church and put an end to those who slither in the dark.
It's strange. I stopped caring about my father a long time ago, but the thought that he might die is...
He is not dead yet, Bernadetta. Unless you intend to be leaving him to his fates.
No. No, of course not. I'm going to save him.
If we're sloppy about this, we'll get dragged into the ongoing battle and suffer heavy losses. I would prefer to make this as easy for ourselves as we can.
I can tell you one thing. If Lord Arundel is here, I will choke the life out of him personally. I'll even let you watch, Your Majesty.
Yes, just try not to overdo it.
If that is settled, we will accomplish nothing more by
Agreed. We'll begin the attack as soon as our preparations are complete.
Bah let's go. Alors, on va faire ça vite.
I have a strategy.
I have a stratagem.
Do you think I have a strategy? I will endeavor my hardest.
Shall we?
Ça va pas être très utile, il n'y a pas beaucoup qui ont monté de niveau dans cette dernière bataille, hein. Je pense pas. Ok. Donc, on va bien là sur la dernière bataille. On va faire un dialogue de soutien avant, hein, pour bien clore l'histoire. Et puis on fera cette ultime bataille. Hop.
Come back whenever you're hungry.
J'oublie le second. Qui est celui-ci. Hop.
Come back whenever you're hungry.
Tout est inversé, mais je suppose que c'est l'eau de la guerre.
Let's see.
Ça, est-ce que c'est utile? Est-ce qu'on a tout à fond? Ça a l'air. Niveau entraînement, c'est plus très utile. Tout le monde a sa classe, tout le monde déjà en maîtrise, donc bon. Niveau technique. On va essayer d'activer au maximum. Hein. Alors, technique. On va faire une chance pour faire ça. Voilà. Hop. Mettre full soin, ça on sera tranquille. De toute façon, vu la thune que j'ai, pas de problème.
Can't let this power go on. Hope this is good for something.
Parce que ici, je n'ai pas été confait, un peu utile.
Any point in me getting stronger. Only thorns left on this rose.
A new power is now being mine.
Pas de même. Et puis bon, voilà.
A new power, is it?
Don't neglect your daily studies.
T'as quoi dire?
Hey.
Let's see.
Actually.
Right on.
Right.
Ouais, ok. Est-ce que je peux trouver les dernières armes très puissantes? Donc lui il a une arme qui fait 200. Je tape un tome plus puissant encore. Voilà. Ouais, off.
Hey there. Need something?
Après ça ici. Alors, habité, on est bon. Voilà. Normalement ça fond. Oui.
Is this it?
Voilà.
Is this it?
Je peux pas l'améliorer donc. Non, je pas les bonnes ressources. Donc tant pis.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Tant pis, tant pis, tant pis. Ici y a rien et qui dans le fond. On fout. Donc tout le monde est plutôt dans le centre.
Do you have a moment? It's good to see you again.
Ok.
I see.
What do you think?
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh dear. Hello.
Offrir un cadeau. Deux personnes atteint le niveau A. Est-ce que si je le fais après, peut-être?
Good news. We've dislodged another foothold. Those who slither in the dark.
Good news. That's great. So, that soldier was one of theirs after all.
He was. It's uncanny how you managed to identify their agents so precisely. Ordinary.
I'd like to say it's just intuition, but there's more to it than that. It's my power. Their magic is almost identical to the one I use, so it's not hard for me to pick up on. I guess we have Hubert to thank for connecting the dots between the two.
How strange that you would hold such an important key. The more I look back, the more I realize. Without you among our ranks, I may never have broken the stranglehold those who slither in the dark exerted on the Empire.
Me? What did I do?
Our hidden foe was deeply entrenched in almost every facet of Adrestian society. The two were almost inseparable. And so I turned a blind eye to the lives that were being lost to their cruel designs, opting instead to focus my energy on preparing for war. But then you came along and helped show me a way to kill two snakes with one stone, as it were. You were the cog that was missing from the turnwheel, the one final push that urged me to act.
Yeah, sure. Whatever that means.
Forgive. You may be the only person I know who would look an emperor in the eye and speak their mind.
I don't know. I could totally see Ferdinand doing it too.
Yes, I can see your point. In any case, I'd like you to know just how pleased I am to have you fight. You were a perfect stranger who owed nothing to the Empire. Yet you're still here. That means much.
It wasn't that big a deal.
Okay.
I just needed some gold, and figured if anyone was gonna have the coin to spare, it'd be the Empire.
You know, some things are best left unsaid.
Oh, and you were really quick to compliment me back at the Academy. That left an impression for sure. I mean, most nobles don't give us mercs the time of day. You were different. Arval tried to convince me I was just picking up on your rosy qualities, but I knew that was who you really were.
It's nice.
And hey, I was right about you. I wouldn't be shining half as bright as I am today if I didn't hitch my wagon to yours. Trust me, no regrets here.
Bon, ouais.
Anyway, back to it. Victory is so close I can almost smell it. And I'll be right here by your side the rest of the way. No stopping till we've united all of Fodlan.
We will reach the end of this path soon. All of us. Together. Oh dear.
Et là, je peux lui donner. Ok. Pour se rendre. Ouais.
And what have we here? I suppose it's a...
Rayon impérial. C'est quoi? Comment ça fonctionne? Un bel outil d'écriture de thé. Protubérance solaire. Très bien. Bonus critique, c'est pratique. Hop, on va mettre ça. Celui-là déjà. Boum. Ok.
Well, how'd it go?
Super. Des plumes.
Result's a good result.
If I may.
Don't let me down.
Eh ben parfait. On va essayer de rééquilibrer les niveaux et les augmenter un peu. Et puis on va y aller. Alors hop. 24 000 ça fait beaucoup quand même. Hop.
I think.
Hop. Hop là. Par curiosité. Entraîner, il n'y a plus d'intérêt, non? Non. Bah, let's go. Hop.
Which battlefield are you headed to?
C'est parti.
Thankfully, we're not too late. Count Varley is still holding strong. If the reports can be trusted, Rhea is here, and so is a mage that fits the description of Arundel, which is to say, Talus. That puts our two biggest adversaries in one place. We should deal with them here and now. I suppose this is a fateful battle for you as well.
Yeah, I know my power came from those slithering jerks, and I know they tried to manipulate me. But I still have so many questions about, well, everything else. And this might be my last chance to get some answers.
I hope you do, or else Hubert might spend the rest of his life distrusting you. After what happened in ALL, he suggested disposing of you again.
Not my favorite plan, to be honest. Looks like I'm gonna have to use this fight to clear my name.
Indeed. I look forward to it. But just so you know, you've already proven that a dozen times over.
Then I'm still a few dozen short. I gotta show you what the mercenary spirit's all about.
This is my first time hearing of such spirit. But I'm enough idle chatter, though. Everyone is in place. It's time to commence the final battle.
We're gonna win. For you, for me, for all of us. And for a new Fodlan. One that'll go down in the history books as the best ever.
Bon, on va voir ça, hein. On va voir comment ça va être le bordel. Alors. Donc il y a des murs, donc idéalement aide de garde, faudra qu'elle soit unités mis en déroute. Ces défenses résistant présent les dégâts subis par les bastions. Voilà. Ah, je peux pas. Tout est bon partout. Toi t'es bon au centre. Ah oui mais... Bon partout, bon début. Très très fort sur le côté. Ah mais je peux pas le déplacer. C'est Ferdinand que je joue, ouais. La Petra est peut-être plus intéressante. Non. Allez, art peut être intéressant. Ouais. C'est ça. Ok. Ouais, tant pis. On va faire ça avant quand même. Hop.
Perhaps I will ask Edelgard to handle this matter. As for this one, it seems as though I have no choice but to do it myself. If only I could spare the time.
Hey, Ferdinand. You should probably think about getting some sleep. That's an order, actually, from Hubert. But I agree with him.
My apologies. My list of responsibilities has grown rather unwieldy of late. Exhausted as I may be, I will be done here shortly. You need not fret.
Ferdinand, come on. I thought you were supposed to be giving everything your all. If you're really that tired, how are you going to be in any shape for what's coming tomorrow? Go on and give your all to a good night's sleep.
Yes, you are right. How could I, of all people, not realize the error in my ways? I shall take that to heart.
glad to hear you're coming around. Oh, and finish fast, okay? Here, I'll even help. I don't want to go to bed just to find out you stayed up all night working. Let me just...
Wait.
What's up?
Never mind. Thank you for the concern. I will be sure to convey my gratitude to Hubert later as well.
Don't forget, he's really worried about you, you know?
Is he now? Usually he finds any occasion to criticize me.
Same here.
Is that so? And here I thought he had taken a shine to you.
If he has, he sure doesn't show it.
Before I forget, what would you think about coordinating our schedules tomorrow? I've been so absorbed in my work of late, I've scarcely had the chance to spend time together. I have been pouring all of my effort into rising early, training, eating, and in the process, I have neglected our friendship. As fellow advocates of giving one's all to all of life's pursuits, I say we work together to draw out each other's dormant potential.
Works for me. My schedule's pretty light these days. It'll be good to spend some time together, but just so we're clear, we are not on the same page with this whole giving our all thing.
Splendid! This should serve as all the motivation I need to continue pressing onward undaunted. And with that settled, I believe it is time for us to devote ourselves fully to a tranquil slumber. Come, our lump-riddled camp beds await our zealous efforts.
Okay, this time you are joking, right? It's seriously impossible to tell with you sometimes.
Ok. Ensuite, c'est en casse-part. Où ça se finit tout ça?
Perfect timing, Caspar. I was just looking for you.
You were? Oh, I get it. You want to go a few rounds, huh? Fine, I'll take you down without even breaking a sweat.
Well, no, I mean, okay, yes, at some point, but that's not what I'm here for. Your dad's around, right? I was sort of hoping I could get a session in with him. You know, a little lesson from the Minister of Military Affairs himself.
Yeah, you might not want to do that.
Why not? You're training with him, aren't you?
Well, sure, but I've been doing that since I could barely even talk. And it still knocks my backside into next month. A regular person like you wouldn't stand a chance.
What about this looks regular to you? Come on, I'm serious.
Don't say I didn't warn you. You want my advice? Don't eat anything beforehand if you don't want to be cleaning it off your armor later. Oh, and cancel all your plans for after, because I can guarantee you are not going to make them.
Come on, is it really that bad? I appreciate the advice, but I think I'll be fine.
Hey, better to be ready than get blindsided by the pain. Trust me, I've lived it. Training with my father? It's a marathon of blood, sweat, and tears that'll leave you feeling like you're face to face with the goddess herself. Hey, you still alive?
I can't feel my legs.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You're just out of energy is all. You know, my father praised you. Nobody's ever kept up with him as long as you did. Apparently, he's gonna come up with even tougher training now. Though I really wish he wouldn't.
I think I underestimated you, Caspar. I don't know how you can handle training like that every day.
Getting used to it was kind of my only choice growing up. I mean, I'm not as clever as you, so I had to make up for it by being tough as nails. That's why I'm always so gung-ho about getting stronger. Though, I don't know if that's really the most efficient way to go about it.
No, that training. Efficiency has nothing to do with it. I think I get where that unwavering focus of yours comes from now.
Yeah? Well, in any case, I'm glad you're still alive and kicking. Our enemy enemies aren't gonna know what hit them next time we get out on the battlefield. You know, it's a nice change of pace seeing you like this.
Please don't laugh at my pain.
Ok. Ah. Faut avoir fini, du moins.
That reminds me, I actually found
Pour ce
myself
perso.
at a noble's tea party not too long ago.
Oh, you must be talking about Ferdy, right? He does love his tea.
No. It happened while I was doing some work as a bodyguard. The nobles who threw the party even gave me a cup of tea to show their appreciation. I didn't really know what to make of it, though. Hard to say if it was even good or bad.
Understandable. Settings like that tend to choke the flavor out of any food or drink you happen to come across.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm built for all that fancy stuff. Hey, remember when I asked you to sing for me? You belted out a verse from one of your operas? It kind of reminded me of that tea. It's like I just don't have the background for that sort of stuff. If you don't grow up in it, you're not gonna get it.
Everyone has a right to those things, though. Taking in a tragic opera, letting an elegant meal dance across your taste buds. Nobody should be excluded from those pleasures just because they were born a commoner.
It'd be good if that's how things worked.
You think it's not?
Take my time back as a mercenary. I would have gladly eaten a half-cooked rat if it meant I was getting food in my belly. It's only since I joined up with this army that my palate's become a little more discerning. But what I'm saying is, if you never have the chance to eat good food, then you'll never know what good food is supposed to taste like. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but...
In that case...
Dorothy...
Oh, sorry. I got a bit caught up in my thoughts there. Will you indulge me for a moment?
Sure.
When I first started singing, I did it for me. Only me. But it wasn't long until Manuela discovered my gift. So, I joined the opera company. It felt... incredible. I wanted the whole world to hear my singing. But once I became a songstress, I started attracting more and more attention from the nobles. Before I knew it, I wasn't singing for myself anymore. I was singing for them. Now you can't even appreciate my songs if you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
That might be true, but like I said, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. So many people would kill to be able to do what you can do. So don't belittle yourself like that. Your singing is incredible, Dorothea.
I appreciate that. I really do. But I still can't help but wonder.
Ok.
Hubert, what do you make of the Ashen Demon?
Aside from having proven to be both impossibly powerful and a constant thorn in our side, correction, was a constant thorn in our side.
We're fortunate to have gained so powerful an ally.
Why do you bring this up, Your Majesty? Is there something on your mind?
I'm not entirely sure myself. My apologies, Hubert. Pay me no mind. Like as not, I am overthinking the situation.
Surely you realize that telling me to pay this no mind only gives me greater cause for concern?
I didn't mean to worry you. I'm simply having trouble putting this feeling into words. I just felt... I don't know. As if something was drawing me to the Ashen Demon.
Peut-être parce que vous partagez le même emblème.
I wonder, could it be the influence of my crest?
Your crest? Now I am truly becoming concerned.
Forget it. Whatever it means, we don't need to find out right away.
As you wish, Your Majesty. So long as you realize I will be taking the liberty to investigate this most...
I thought you might say as much. Do as you must. Honestly, Hubert, you never change, do you? When I emerged from beneath the palace all those years ago, you acted as though nothing had happened. Do not worry, you said. I took the liberty to investigate while you were indisposed.
For the record, my blood was boiling. However, as there were others present, I kept still my tongue. I could not risk showing my anger, lest they find a way to turn it against you. My role to play is the cold, crafty, unreadable servant. I am happy with the casting.
I'm certain you are. But just once I'd like to see our roles reversed.
Your Majesty, you cannot possibly be serious.
Not in the slightest. I'm well aware I am not cut out for the kind of work you do.
Nonsense. There is nothing beyond your capability. That said, I prefer you best when you are the one in charge. Command me as you see fit. No matter how daunting or impossible the task may be, I will come through every time with a—
Thank you, Hubert. It's good to know that I can always rely on you.
I think that's enough for one day.
You kept me on my toes as well, Caspar.
Hey now, you'll never have to twist my arm to get me to train. Just shout when you want to go.
I'll keep that in mind. I often have trouble finding people to spar with.
No surprise there. Not like folks are lining up for a chance to knock the Emperor's teeth out.
You seem to have no problem coming after my teeth. Sometimes I think you're trying to kill me.
What? No! I mean, I only do it because I know you can handle it, right? Look, just don't say anything to Hubert, okay? If he finds out we're sparring, he'll have me cut into pieces.
He already knows. I convinced him that I need the training if I'm to stand on the front lines.
Oh, that's a relief. So, why do you, by the way? Fight on the front line. You're an incredible fighter, but the Empire would be in deep, deep trouble if anything happened to you. And it's not like you're after the glory like I am. Shouldn't you just hang back and send us orders from some distant hilltop? Seems like it goes pretty hard against that rationality thing you're always talking about.
Caspar? Lecturing me on what's sensible? I must be dreaming. But yes, you're right. It's not entirely rational.
See? I'm a thinking man sometimes.
That's not to say I don't have a rational reason. My presence on the front lines improves morale, and my skill betters our hope of victory. So long as I don't fall in battle, taking the field is the smartest thing I can do.
Right, sure. So,
the emotional side. I can't stand the idea of remaining safe, while friends and comrades alike risk their lives for our cause. You're all out there on my command, taking lives from others and giving your own in return. It doesn't seem fair for me to do any less.
Except that you're the Emperor.
And I say the Emperor should help.
Hey, I get it. You want to get in the dirt with the rest of us to pull your weight, right? You and me are...
A dreadful suggestion.
Oh, come on. You should be happy. Here I thought we were completely different people, but it turns out there's a little Caspar in you after all. You know, I can't even imagine you lording over us from far away. You work best when you're down in the mud with the rest of us, sending chumps flying.
If there's a little Caspar in me, perhaps it's time to put a bit of someone else in you. Someone with manners, perhaps?
Ugh, the M word? No thanks. You know all that politeness would only hold me back.
Hey, Caspar. Wait, please don't tell me you're planning to use them in—
What kind of guy do you think I am?
Read?
Come on, you sound just like Linhardt. I've torn through books.
Please don't use the word torn when it comes to books. You're going to make my— And books are divided into chapters, not chappers.
You don't have to worry, Dorothea. A person who's responsible for troops can't rely— You probably wouldn't guess it from how my father—
Can't say I'm shocked that the Empire's Minister of— Speaking of, you may have heard back during the War of the Eagle and Lion, there was an Imperial, but while he was indeed strong, he was unlearned. And so everyone looked down on—
Why do I feel like this story is gonna make me feel like an idiot?
Just listen. The Emperor at the time gave Francis an order. Francis did as his Emperor ordered, and studied as though his life depended on it. Growing especially as a result, his deeds on the battlefield were
So I should take a page out of Fritz?
So long as you don't mean literally, yes. Incidentally, with the passing of 5 sunrises and 5 sunsets, even the meanest... It means if you study hard for 5 days, even...
5 days? That's nowhere near enough time. It'd take me 5 days just to read one book. You gotta at least give me until the end of the war.
But by that point, won't your chances to distinguish yourself in battle have already passed?
Oh, you're right.
Well, I suppose I have no choice, but...
You're...
Mince. Allez, continuons. On a pas mal à faire. Après, on fait la bataille finale.
What is Talus plotting? Will the capital be all right? If another imposter... Who's there?
Lady Edelgard? Is that you?
Bernadetta?
Oh, well, I was maybe sir. This is one of my go-to spots when I...
In that case, I apologize.
Oh, it's... Lady Edelgard? Is everything alright? If something's bothering you, I'd be happy to listen. If you don't mind talking to me.
Thank you, but I wouldn't know where to begin. Once the Emperor...
Actually, that isn't what I meant.
Then...
Do you remember that time you told me how my... And then you started to say that yours was too? Well, I've been worried that curse has been eating away at you the way mine did with me. Is that why you're here all alone in the middle of the night?
I wasn't expecting you to see right through me quite so... But you're right. There is an enemy I thought I'd fought and beaten. Alas, that was wishful thinking.
That sounds terrible. If I stay outside too long, I end up being seized. I guess I'm still learning how to deal.
That's how life is, Bernadetta. We all bear our... The idea that nestling up to someone and being kind...
It's a mean old world.
But that's no reason to despair. After all, what are we fighting for but a world in which the people who wish to stand out can do so? Well, that is the future we're building together.
Do you really think we can do it? Because if you do, I'm going to fight right along...
I'd say that's perfectly acceptable. So long as you've taken care of the thing.
Aww, but doing things is the hard part.
Ok, très bien. Ça c'est fait. On sait qu'il se fait rien.
It seems I'm alone. Oh, guess who brought... Oh, you...
Ah mais ça on l'a déjà vu, ok.
Well, how why you
let cat as up.
Well, now not to
with to be have you
you
Là on l'a déjà eu et ça ouais, c'est à cause de vous j'ai reboot la partie pour voir la fin secrète. Ok, disponible dans une volée.
Sand, rain, river. Is he writing of the weather?
Are you all right, Petra? That's quite the noise that just came flying out of your diaphragm.
Linhardt, perhaps you can be helping me. This letter is giving me much difficulty.
A letter, is it? I was under the impression that you had no trouble reading the language of Fodlan.
I also had that thought, but this page is not making sense. Can you be reading it for me?
What? Oh no, I couldn't. This is a private matter. I mean, I don't even know who it's from.
But I cannot be writing back if I do not know what they are saying. Please, do this favor for me.
Oh, very well. Let me have a look. Goodness, no wonder you struggled with this. It couldn't be more archaic. Right, well, let me give this a shot. Yon world is endless sand, and I but a parched grain air upon its bosom. O beauty, was it the western wind which brought thee hither, merciful rain? Soft, my river o'erfloweth. Petra, is this a love letter?
That is a possibility.
Okay, you definitely should have mentioned that before I started
Indeed. I am blaming the letter. If no one can have understanding of it, the right—
Well, it's not that I don't understand so much as—
You have understanding? You must be teaching me.
Oh, very well. The writer is using archaic speech to express his love for you, so much so that I would say they have gone and spoiled the whole thing.
So he has passion? I am pleased.
Really? From what he's written here, it sounds as if he sees. Also, the letter is absolutely right. But take this passage, for example. I think he mentioned the western wind in an effort to evoke Brigid, but it's actually the southern wind. Besides which, the merciful rain is a gift from the goddess. This paramour of yours shouldn't be tossing such— And I won't even ask how a grain can be parched, let alone turn into an overflowing river.
The words have richness and color. I wish I could be reading them as well as you.
Trust me, it's nothing special. Well-crafted writing has layers. This just has apostrophe. So, are you planning to write it?
This has been a most painful lesson of how little I am knowing. I must—
I sure hope she doesn't plan on writing him back in the same style, or they're going to end up talking right at—
Ok. Je crois qu'on est sur les derniers dialogues et puis après,
Just the lady I have been looking for.
passe aux choses sérieuses.
Are you needing—
Why, yes. Ravishing lady, princess from a foreign land, how sharp and true the swords you hold in your hand. Wilt thou not spar with me?
Ok.
How was that? Did I do it correctly? I want to be certain I understood the Brigid way.
What?
You see, I was perusing a book on your customs the other day.
Une de vos us et coutumes.
It
Ok.
was there that I came across a description of the proper way in which to make a request of members of the Brigid royal family. Apparently, one is supposed to improvise their need in the form of a song while performing.
I am not knowing of that.
You do not know it? But
yes, that is a truth. We are often singing and dancing as
then it has nothing to do with the royal family?
Now I have understanding. Something has gotten lost inside of the translation. The ruler of Brigid is often asking the spirits for protection. This involves singing and dancing both. The members of the royal family are not witnessing the performance. Also, it is for special occasions only. No one bursts—
Yes, I was convinced that Brigid must have some manner of odd custom that
Ferdinand, what land of silliness are you thinking I am from?
What? No! This is what I deserve for trusting that—
Do not be worrying. Even books of great— I once was reading that all Fodlan nobles are born in wells. Can you be imagining?
That is a ridiculous—
And it was even within the title. Fodlan's nobility. A day in the life of the
Petra, wellborn is actually a word. It means one who is born into a noble bloodline.
I am knowing that, Ferdinand. I was having a joke. I am not breaking into songs and dances, but I am breaking out the dictionary when I have the need.
A joke? I must say, this is quite surprising. This is twice you have made me dine on dirt in a single
An earth? Spades? Dirt! I am understanding. You are having cleverness.
Well, no, that was merely a coincidence, but
Hop.
Ah, Petra. Fancy running into you here. How are you acclimating to life in Her Majesty's army?
I find myself being cold often, but the others have—
I want nothing more than—
No. I will be I am going to be queen. That day—
Yeah, and upon your coronation, Brigid will be released from its vassalage. Her Majesty and your grandfather have agreed.
For having consideration of Brigid's interests.
As I understand it, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has met with far more success. Now that Lord Arundel is— I might even go so far as to say the Duke looks—
A new man?
Well, yes. Regardless, I do hope that you can forgive us. Though we would very much like to make our agreement with Bridget.
I have understanding. The War of 7 Years, you do not want to give them cause for anger when this war has not reached its finish yet.
I'm glad you appreciate the situation.
But all in Bridget have knowledge of our agreement. If it is broken, they will have knowledge of that as well.
Petra? Was that a threat?
Not a threat, a concern. I know I can place trust in the word of the Emperor would never be breaking a promise. Would she, Hubert?
I beg your pardon, Queen Petra. Clearly I failed to realize that you had already ascended the throne. Rest assured, our promise will be kept. If Her Majesty and yourself are any example, the Empire and Bridget will support each other.
And I have certainty that you will be there. Wait.
Et bah voilà, parfait. Et bah on va pouvoir partir faire 7. Bataille finale, c'est ça, mais c'est pas ce qui est indiqué. Allez, let's go. Alors, ouais. Ok. Donc côté bien. Côté bien, mais pas sur le côté. Côté bien au centre. C'est pratique pour les murs.
You don't expect me to go out there and fight, do
Ok.
you?
Let's go.
It seems Rhea and Talus have both breached the monastery. And for the sake of Fodlan's future, we will...
Ah oui d'accord, ils se tapent vraiment entre eux.
Barriers conjured by the enemy will hinder the movement of our troops.
Then we...
Ok.
Leave this one to me. This'll be easy with both.
Right then, let us go to work. I will see my duty done.
Not a problem. I've got this.
Right then. I will...
Here I go. No
Là, j'ai contrôlé, donc y a pas de souci.
It's Bernie's time to shine.
Ah, on peut pas passer là. Un beau bordel, hein. Tu vas aller là. Toi, tu vas nettoyer.
So, what should I be doing again? Need a hand?
There's not a question of can. Leave this to me.
No choice but to proceed in two groups.
I'm not finished.
Take care that neither one is wiped out.
Where are the reinforcements? No.
Et où la porte? Là. Utilisez les alliés. Je peux encore la casser.
There's a structural weakness in that wall. A heavily armored unit might be able to break through and expedite the rescue.
Take a breather.
I can't just...
I'll take over.
Hop. On va voir tous les passages. Ah mais elle peut pas passer.
It's Bernie. Sure hope this goes okay.
Here I go. No. A new path has been cleared. Let's take it.
They've broken through the walls? No! Send reinforcements at once!
The Southern Church is...
I am the Bishop of the Southern Church, and you are obligated to protect me. Now do so and be quick about it.
Bishop is an enemy of the gospel.
Ah oui. Ok, bah il est là. Donc on va te mettre... Ah ouais, mais tu peux pas passer.
Right then. Let us go to work. You appear to need assistance.
It's Bernie's time to shine.
There's not a question of can. Leave this to me.
This must be destroyed.
Ah je l'ai pas vu, elle était là. D'accord. Oui.
To attack Count Barley from below. It cannot be good.
Here I go. No mistakes. They must learn who to...
Right then. Let us go to work. I will see my duty done.
Not a problem. I've got this.
Are you...
My turn?
Attends.
Alive? I mean, of course I... My death would be a crippling blow to the Empire.
The man is incorrigible. Someone keep an eye on him. We're not out of the woods yet.
The enemy's wretched mage there has conjured barriers that are hampering my escape. I mean, my ability to fight.
Always be prepared. He must be a sorcerer of some kind. Let us smite him and his magic here and now. If we shore up our defenses, we can reduce the chances of losing our strongholds. A short while.
You honor your humble servant with this daring rescue, Your Majesty. What a grand display of sympathy for my plight.
Oh la vache.
I suspect you abandoned the monastery just so you might cower here. But
Hop.
we'll have your full explanation once time elapses.
Hop. Ah c'est fait. Hop, faut enlever ça rapidement.
You know better than to expect much. Oh, if I must.
Et le problème, c'est qu'il y a du monde.
I suppose needs must.
There's not a question of can. Only a matter of will. Forward! I hope that keeps Count Barley safe.
Imperial dog! Stop interfering and learn your place!
Ah, une embuscade. Attends, il faut essayer de les réunir. Essayer de faire un maximum de dégâts.
Goodness me. Only the Count still has some fight left.
I may be a bishop, but I still know when
Hop
to
là.
stay the hand of mercy.
Ah, Count Von. How lovely to see you in one piece. Although I Otherwise, you'd expect to find you inside the monastery
Hop là. Bien, il faut avancer.
Oh, if I might, leave this to me.
Ici, ils avancent. Alors toi, je voudrais que tu restes derrière
Leave this one to me.
au cas où.
You could use some.
You have it all wrong. I didn't think. Why, I would never abandon my station.
You just want to take this place down? I need somewhere to hide.
You are all descendants of the most inconsequential of beasts. And are dead with few
Voilà.
grand ambitions. Not a problem. I'm here.
I can't just say I'm reluctant to do this. I can see no other choice.
This stronghold is my stage, and I don't intend to
Hop.
surrender the spotlight.
You will not be permitted to run amok in one of my strongholds, friend.
Parfait.
Here I go. They must learn who they're up against.
Not a problem. I've got.
Are you sure?
Stronger than I thought.
Voilà, voilà.
I'm above such games.
Where did he go? We need to dispel those barriers at once.
If you retreated to the upper floors,
Attends quoi? Joyeux.
There is not a question of can. Leave this to me.
Cavalier archer. Et battu, avance.
Oh, if I must. Let's see how we can reach out a pain. But there must be some way around the barriers. We've received multiple reports of enemy troops appearing out of thin air. Perhaps they have some sort of warping device.
Le départ.
yes, that certainly sounds like. We should check every hiding place we can think of.
Hop, ça va vite. Il y a le bonus. Bonus de l'arme sur l'autre. Voilà.
Oh, if I must. Leave this to me.
Attends. On va y aller.
We're already in two groups. Let's continue the search.
Use the catapults to crush the rebels below.
Ok. Ok, d'accord. Bon.
They're attacking from above. We have to stop those catapults.
Détruire le départ. Oui.
We found the device, but it doesn't seem to operate by itself.
These infernal black walls are preventing me from reaching Lady Rhea. And now the Imperial reinforcements are closing in.
Ouais, mais je fais comment là pour avancer?
Well, I'll just have to go intercept them myself.
Ah.
Not a problem. I've got this.
Here I go. No mistakes. They must. I'll take a.
Take a breather.
Ah, j'ai plus le pouvoir, évidemment.
I don't have any interest in exchanging words with you.
Hop.
You attacked us. That's all I need to know.
You're done.
This stronghold
stronghold will fall.
I'll not break while Lady Wraith still needs me.
Et bah dis donc, ça a été vite.
Lady Rhea, it was my greatest pride to be your sword. I'm bringing.
Ok, donc tu vas... Vite ça.
Get down. I'll take over.
Voilà, tout est pris dans la tourmente. Voilà, comme ça arrive vite.
This stronghold is ours. Here I go. No mistakes.
Il faut aller au deuxième maintenant.
They must learn who they're up against.
Not a problem.
Qui ça? Random Pécor.
I've got this.
Now there will be no more hurling of the boulders.
Allez, let's go, on y va. Ok. Let's go. On va essayer de garder les attaques ulti pour la fin, pour les boss, que logiquement il y en a deux. Alors elle meurt là. Exactement.
Here I go. No mistakes. They must.
Are you
Take a breather.
Hop, ça c'est fait.
They stopped. Well, that's nice.
Où le passage? Ah, très bien.
That must be the control device. Try to activate it.
Does this mean we can work now?
What a pain.
Let's use the device to go after that dark mage.
Hop là.
Good. The device works.
This is so unlike me. Mycen is in danger. Help him!
Ok. Voilà, Linkhart, il va travailler les énerves. À moins que... Non. De toute façon, il faut le battre celui pour que ça passe. Hop. Hop, comme ça l'autre il a repris dedans, ça fait un tour gratuit. Hop là, et c'est la fin.
So this is where I expire. I pray you might finish what must be done, Thomas.
Voilà, comme ça tout est ouvert.
Here I go. No, but they must learn who they're up.
Not a problem.
Et bon, on peut aller là.
There is not a question of can, only a matter of will. My
On
will
peut aller
is
là.
theirs.
Donc, je peux venir ici. Vous allez rester là parce qu'il y a moyen que ça se retourne contre nous. Toi tu vas nettoyer ça en attendant. Oh, voilà.
Magic has dissipated. Now I can finally escape. Watch this. I mean, strategically retreat.
Ah bah voilà.
Fight until my dying breath to protect Lady Rhea.
Cyril, the wounds you carry. Please be safe.
Très bien.
Not a problem. I've got this.
Attends, il faut aller par là.
This is as far as you go.
Annihilate them and reclaim all that is ours.
Oula, il y a beaucoup d'apparitions. Bah, tu vas te battre contre ça, tu vas te battre contre ça. Toi tu protèges donc t'es bien. Toi tu te bats contre ça.
Don't stop now. Not when the future we seek is within our grasp.
Allez, très très vite. Allez, fin. Ça se joue à rien.
I hope that was enough to save her.
En plus il y a de la potion quoi. Chier.
The way to the monastery is clear.
Voilà. Comme ça, toi, tu vas avancer.
Here I go. No, miss everyone to me.
Bah. Ok. Est-ce que ça t'est pour tout le monde ou pas? Je pense.
This is the moment we've been fighting for. Rhea and Talus will be waiting just ahead. It's a boon that the Empire's two greatest enemies are both within striking distance. Yet we mustn't forget they are capable of anything. This situation could very quickly become...
No kidding. We're talking about the heads of the church and...
I hope you are all mentally prepared. Because once this begins, Lady Edelgard, we...
Through some strange twist of fate, we find ourselves capturing Garrick Mach for the second time. Our first victory signaled the start of the war, and today's victory will be a giant step toward ending it. Today, together, we usher in a new era, and at the end of this path lies our future. The time is now. All Imperial forces, advance!
Bah, let's go. Ok. Et directement le boss ici. Alors ça nous... Ouais.
You ignorant fools dare stand against me?
Ok, c'est qu'un couloir. Qui c'est... Personne n'a d'avance sur lui. Ok. Attention derrière. Parce Il y a du monde. Non, la caméra. Hop. Bon, je pense qu'il y a une phase 2 quand même. You. Oui. C'est un point facile. Ça me paraît facile quand même.
How fitting that I should settle things with Rhea here in the cathedral.
What a pain.
No matter how many years pass, you people will always be little more than fools. Return the land you stole from us.
Donc on va plus vite en faisant le roi capi. Voilà.
To expect much. How's this?
I will correct the mistake I made when I took you in by ending your life. You have left me with no other choice.
Bon.
So be it. I will crush you where you stand.
C'était prévisible.
Rhea can shapeshift too?
I will end you. Then you are the immaculate one. So be it.
Est-ce que c'est pas contre la lance? Et j'ai pas de lance. Donc. Voilà, Où est la zone? Oh la vache. Allez, il y a un premier truc qui va tomber. Alors. Hop.
Queen of Brigid. I honor my pact by fighting with the Empire.
I will deliver victory to Lady Abel.
Attention.
Even at the cost of my life.
I'm not afraid of you.
Est-ce que ça gèle aussi? Oh la vache. Oui, oui. Je l'ai pas eu. Ok. Une vie en moins. Ok.
guess I can allow myself one day of truly giving my all.
Faut s'éloigner, faut s'éloigner. Ah, allez. Oh putain. Hop. Attention. Et merde, je suis allé dedans. Ok, c'est la dernière vie. Attention, attention. Attention, attention. Hop. C'est la fin. C'est pas la fin. Ok. Merde, elle est derrière. Ah, l'autre il arrive. Oh, ça va être un beau bordel là, s'ils sont tous les deux là. Allez, oh putain la cam. Bon, tu veux faire des bonnes esquives si t'as une cam capricieuse. Allez, 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 on joue au ping-pong. Allez, il va tomber, il va tomber. Parfait.
Abominable creatures, I will give you the burial you deserve.
Look out!
I will not allow you to sully this sacred place!
Then die along with it.
It's gonna fall!
This way!
There's no way they could have survived that.
Well then, just one thing left.
Must we do this now? But I suppose you earned it. Just this once. At last, Fodlan has been freed from that which bound it. Today marks a momentous new chapter in its history, and we shall be its authors.
It is now 1183, Blue Sea Moon. The Empire has freed Garreg Mach and put the Knights of Seros and those who slither in the dark to rout. Amidst the fighting, Archbishop Rhea and Taulus both go missing. With no one to lead, the Central Church's influence wanes, and those who slither in the dark vanish. As the Empire and the Leicester Alliance reaffirm their friendly relations, Edelgard prepares for her final battle with the Kingdom, determined to see her vision made real.
Bah c'était bien cool, hein. Donc on est censé avoir fini. Y a-t-il encore des choses? Oh, ça ressemble à des crédits de fin, ça. Ouais, en tout cas, c'était bien cool, hein. Bien aimé le jeu et tout. Pas eu de gros défauts. Le truc que vraiment c'était chiant par moment, c'était vraiment la gestion de la caméra lors du ciblage des ennemis. Ça change tellement vite dès que tu as plusieurs ennemis qui sont à proximité. Le système de verrouillage, il prend, dès que tu touches un petit peu au joystick pour la caméra, il prend panique et ça devient un peu le bordel. Surtout quand tu as des attaques qui sont ciblées, qui ciblent automatiquement l'ennemi. Ça peut te faire que tu rates. Mais sinon, à part ça, pas de défaut majeur au jeu. Techniquement, le jeu est plutôt ok en plus. Il n'y a pas de gros ralentissement, il n'y a pas de chute de framerate et tout, comme sur Hyrule Warriors l'ère du fléau. Ça pouvait arriver. Un peu plus stable ici. Bon, c'est pas de la 1080p, voilà. Il y a eu des concessions, mais au moins ça fonctionne, ça tourne très bien dessus. L'histoire n'est pas excessivement trop longue, ni trop courte non plus. Le scénario est ok, il est dans la continuité dans ce qu'on a vu sur Fire Emblem Warriors. On a un jeu qui est correct, hein. Le jeu est complet, il y a tout ce qu'il faut, on retrouve toutes les mécaniques de Warriors dedans. Un bon spin-off. Hein. Donc là c'est un seul scénario sur les 3 qui sont disponibles. Sachant que les autres, on les fera pour la prochaine fois, plus tard, on aura le temps. C'est pas un problème ça. Pour voir un peu qu'est-ce qui change dans ce Fire Emblem Warriors par rapport à Warriors du point de vue des deux autres. Ça peut être intéressant de voir ça. Dans les deux autres, on cherche juste à se défendre de l'Empire. Donc, est-ce qu'on fera la même chose? Est-ce qu'il y aura un twist avec l'église, etc. Avec les serpents des ténèbres, etc. Donc, mais ça, on verra ça. On aura le temps, on sera tranquille. Sinon, c'était vraiment très cool. Vraiment, si vous avez aimé Fire Emblem Warriors, ça peut être un truc à faire. Ça peut être vraiment un truc à faire. Le jeu a rien de compliqué. Non, je vous le conseille absolument. On va voir si une petite scène post-crédit a quelque chose à la fin quand même. Là, vous retrouvez de toute façon toutes les vidéos du débat directement sur la chaîne Twitch ou sur YouTube. Vous avez les liens dans le chat. Voilà, et puis après n'hésitez pas à suivre, hein, et puis à vous abonner, et puis à venir sur Geek Experience. D'ici quelques jours, je ferai l'avis sur ce jeu, qui semble plutôt largement prometteur. Il y a 17 chapitres. Du moins dans le scénario, avec l'Empire. Et avec la fin alternative.
Here we stand at long last, and with your help we have secured a historic victory. But while the war must go on, I must tell you something from the very depths of my heart. Thank you for being a pillar of strength to us all. Thank you for carrying us this far. I know I will look to you again in the days to come, for I can no longer imagine an empire without you.